Welcome to Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact. Each episode will cover legacy, hope, Black joy, funding sources, cultural shifts, equality, and so much more. We will provide inspiration and action while spreading some joy to a thriving community of Black business owners and leading thought leaders.
I am Larvetta Lofton, your host and the founder of the L3 Agency.
Known as the brand maven who transforms organizations with her storytelling prowess, meet Larvetta L. Lofton, host of Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact.
Hey. Welcome to another episode of Black Businesses Matter. You all know we are in season 5 and we're talking about everything wellness. And I'm really just having a good time because the folks that we've got lined up and the people we've already interviewed have just reminded us about the importance of taking care of ourselves. And so what we have really done, I think, a really great job in curating business owners who really are sharing some of their wellness techniques, but then they have businesses that are all about wellness. And so our next guest, I will tell you, I had to ask her a question because I wasn't sure if she was, a member of the illustrious Delta Sigma Theta, but I found out she wasn't, but she's still my sister. So, she's still my sister because of the name of her business. But I want to introduce you all to Jamica Harper. She is from St. Louis. But now she resides in the South Side of Chicago, and so we're excited to have her on the South Side of Chicago. But during her time in Chicago, she's really cultivated a love for community engagement, outreach, and support. Her background is in mental health, and she grew up nonprofit. Her passion grew into her nonprofit Urban Hearts Foundation, where she supports the community, building partnerships throughout the city to bring together families and the youth to provide an aid of service. And then she created this wonderful candle company called Red Elephant Candle Company, where she incorporates her taught holistic therapies into her candles to create a calming and safe environment for others. So I don't know about you all. If you're listening and you love candles, you're going to love this episode because she's really going to help us and aid us in, and how candles really help to create this safe environment. So I'm excited to bring her onto the show. And I'm going to say this, guys, and she also does candle making classes. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But Jamica, I'm sorry, I'm still in Jamaica. I just came off of Jamaica last weekend. So forgive me for that because I'm still there. I'm still looking at the 85-degree weather. So I see her name and I'm like, oh, it really says Jamaica, but it is Jamica, everyone. Jamica Harper. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. And so I want to talk, I really start off to really understand. I want people to know, who was Jamica as a little girl?
Oh my goodness. I was a child that was very curious. And I was the only girl. And so I was kind of like the loner because I always try to find my way to fit in, but I always made it work for me. So I was a very curious child who had an old soul.
Okay.
So
what would be your favorite subject in school? What was your favorite subject?
It was history.
Ah.
Oh, I love history. I hated science, and it's crazy because I'm basically a chemist now. But history, if it's trivia, I'm on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny. We had a guest a couple of weeks ago and history was her favorite subject. I think that is so dope because I find that history was not my favorite and science was my favorite. And I love that these, impactful leaders who are aiding in outreach efforts and doing that history is their jam. Because you know what I mean? When you think about it, we think of history as like and I'm saying this, the lady with the glasses, the old lady telling you, that no, like the history buff can be a woman who loves to create candles and change the world. Like you can be a history major, right?
Yes, you
That's
sure
dope.
can.
That's dope. And so, Jamica, did you study that in college?
No. So
Okay.
I studied.
You were like, no, okay, that was it for me as a little girl. And then I moved. Okay, got it.
I always still had like the I still was very much so fond of history because for me history, I'm psych major. So
Okay.
yeah, so let's get to that. So I'm a psych major and I'm finishing my master's right now for my counseling psychology.
Nice.
So
Oh, nice.
so going, into that space, but it's important to know history because history always repeats itself. So in order to understand what's in front of you, you got to understand what happened in the past.
That's good. And that's so knowing that I got you as a history girl, as a little girl, kind of moving to psych, kind of in the same area, right? Same family.
Mhm.
Um, and here goes candle making. But even before candle making, tell me about your nonprofit.
So my nonprofit, it started because I did a fellowship at a charter school on the east side of Chicago, and I just did not like how this school was ran, and because it was just unfair to our babies, um, and I said I can do this. I know the behind the scenes. I can do this, and that's how it started. So I started off with the school drive in 2014 on the south side, and that just catapulted and went into different spaces. My nonprofit itself is based on helping families that are minority families, black and brown families, that live in low income communities that need assistance, with the necessities like food, like coats, like school supplies, like tutoring for their children. So it's the small things that makes the biggest impact, and just having those branches and connections. Um, that's where Urban Hearts came from.
Now, do you still have Urban Hearts?
Urban Hearts, she's still here,
Okay.
but I'm about to dust her off and get
Okay.
her back activated again. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I love when we start something, we put it down and come back to it.
Hmm.
Because I think, Jamaica, I think that we sometimes, you said that so poetically, and confident, not, I didn't hear any rejection from it. Because sometimes when we bring up something we once, oh yeah, it's,
Hmm.
it comes, it can appear or perceive as a failure,
Yeah.
right? But you said it like she's still there. I'm gonna pick her back up, and I think that's okay.
Hmm.
Especially when we have businesses that we can, put it down, pick it back up, because really God is moving us into something else
Hmm.
that we want to pursue, but that doesn't mean that we don't have to go back to it. And I think I love that you were poised when you said that.
Yes, because we have to sometimes we get so involved, you get lost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes when you're not 100%, we're never 100%. So let's
Yep.
be clear.
Yep.
But when you're not at your best, you lose sight, and sometimes you have to go collect yourself and come back.
Yep. I like that. I like, go collect yourself and
Go
come
collect
back.
yourself. Act
Hmm.
like you got some sense and come back.
If speaking for someone who's getting her master's in psychology, just for the record, everyone, she's definitely dropping gems for us. And so I want to talk about Red Elephant Candle Company. Kind of where did that come from? I know that you have a store in Chicago. So
Mhm.
we want to talk about where did that come from?
Red Elephant came from during COVID.
Nice.
This is a COVID baby. This was, I'm a counselor and speaking to, my clients over the phone, and, just I'm gonna be good, but I'm recognizing the fact that I too am having these depressive feelings, right? Anxiety and unsureness. And what can I do to really get myself back into, a good space? I need to separate. So I just literally started to do what I was telling my clients to do, which was get a candle, get some oils, essential oils, you'll be fine in the morning. And that's where that came from. And it was so many ways. And it's just the healing space because I needed that because I was so confined. So I needed to create my sanctuary to be more so of my safe zone, right? So I did that through candle making. And when I was making, I always, I had a couple of candles that I was burning that I was getting sick from, and I wasn't realizing that I was recognizing that I was getting sick from those candles. So I was just like, oh no, I have to start making my own so that, a clean, like a healthier candle. And yeah, and that's where it came from. It literally came from COVID and me being in the space of sadness, of darkness, of unassurance, and trying to separate myself, but find something as simple as a candle to uplift myself, to separate from what reality was. And through my candles, I created my own reality.
That's dope. And so this is a COVID business, and I love that you shared this. We know we got COVID babies, COVID businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, Jamica, because during COVID, candles became my joy. It's funny because if you're familiar with the Harlem Candle Company,
Mm-hmm.
and so I know her very well. And so I just started buying a whole bunch of candles from every, black business that I
Uh-huh.
could think of. And that would be what brought me joy
Mm-hmm.
because what I what I was able to do, and I think this is what candles, it always tells me that I still have a fire to light, right,
Mm-hmm.
inside of me. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's even in the midst of the darkness of things that may be happening within our lives at the time it was COVID, there's
Mm-hmm.
still light in me. There's still
Mm-hmm.
light that needs to be, ignited. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's where at that time, and still today, candles do that for me. But I think before, if we can be really 100, Jamaica, you know, as a young adult, and I say young, you put on your candles, and candles set a mood,
Yes,
right?
they do.
And
Uh-huh.
it was a mood like, yeah, this is where we're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see it as a mood for me per se, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
a mood that you were setting. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's the way that I see candles now. But it was like you're setting the mood. You make, oh, make sure you get your
Mm-hmm.
candles, make sure you got your, all those things
Mm-hmm.
that to create a romantic evening, right?
Right.
But what I didn't realize is that candles really set a mood for yourself.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it creates that space, and it's every mood. You can have a candle from when you're feeling down. You can have a candle from when you're happy. You can have a candle just to come home and after you clean your house. It's
Yes,
nothing like a clean house.
that's
Okay,
so true.
it's a particular candle that I burn, and it's just this is what it's going to smell like this because my house is clean.
Yes, you're so right. You're so right, Jamaica. You're so right. So tell me about your candles. I know that you have names, homes. You got a whole plethora of names. So walk us through kind of that process. Like, I think candles, you can get them anywhere. But
Right.
tell us that process. Walk people through that are listening on audio. Like, what is that process? How do you get the aroma? Where do you come up with the name? All of that.
I create at night
Okay.
because there's my daughter is not talking to me. I don't have to go off of her commands. My phone isn't ringing. The streets are still, and it's just quiet. And it's me and my ancestors at this time. So when I'm creating, it's all, and I try the creation piece, during the day, and it's just too much going on. Phones are going off, emails are going. I'm all over the place. But when it's at night, it's just I'm still. And when I create these scents, it's more so of it goes from the mood that I am, or I think about what it is that, in the beginning is what is it that, we really need to focus on. Okay, we need to help with like calmness. What is it that what essential oils are good for calmness, and how can I combine? And the way that I look as far as just like me combining them, I look at it as far as mixing, I look at it as how if you know how to season your food, you can blend a candle because of the you can smell, and through your smells you can kind of taste, right? So it's just you really connecting with your senses. So going into that process, it's just it's it's at night. It's something that's so simple, but it makes the whole experience like worth it because I'm just locked in. And the names just come from whatever it is that I'm feeling at that moment, or whatever, or something that I'm hearing or I'm seeing or I'm feeling like throughout the day. So it's just something that's just as simple as like divine, or ashe, and so it is. So when I'm in that creating space, I want it to be when you're lighting ashe, ashe means it's final. So it's and so it is, and that's it. I want a house, I want a dog, I want to I want this man, I want whatever this case may be. And so it is. So you have nothing else to worry about. So now it's just you in that space and you're navigating through that. So
That's beautiful.
yeah.
I want to, so based on you coming up with these, the names come, you just kind of, it comes with you. Now, do you ever reach out to your customers and have your customers like share names of what your candles could be?
I do not. Who I do reach out to is my daughter.
Ah,
Yeah, so my baby is she's I have a preteen and she's 12 years old going on 76. She's waiting on her social security every it's just
I love it. I love it.
um but with her she has it's just like a spirit that runs through her, and she's very in tune, and you just see it. And it's just certain things where I get stuck at, like with the name. I was just like, what should I name this? And I was like, Harper candles, or she, I was just like, I'm not feeling it. And she just literally came in the room so nonchalant and was just like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? And walked out. Just like, oh.
Wow.
So
I
with my
love that you tap into, I love that you tap into the young
hmm
spirit,
hmm
the young innocent spirit,
hmm
because ultimately, Jamaica, don't you find that inside of us as adults are still little girls?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
or little
still,
boys.
yes, we
Yeah,
still have that inner child is real.
yeah. And you, of course, because you're working in that space, you
Mhm.
know that it's whether she's broken
Mhm.
or she's not. There's that inner child. She's still there,
You're
right?
right. Exactly. Exactly. I
She's
always
still what however you want to look at her, she's still rare there, right?
that,
So
that inner
um
child is still there.
yeah. And so tell me this, when we talk about wellness, we're
Mhm.
talking about it this whole entire season.
Yeah.
How are candles providing and your business providing wellness for individuals?
For me, it's one of those like it's healing because of the components that are in there. So with the natural essential oils that I use, they're based off of calmness, restlessness, focusing. So we have lavender, patchouli, lang lang, sandalwood, like those types of oils. It helps put you in the space where you need to be, as far as just in that positive mode, right? It helps you calm yourself. It helps you focus. It helps you just release, relax, rewind. Um, in that space, and then on top of the other natural things that are in there, like the wax is coconut based wax, so you're able to even use it as a topical. So if it's something as far as like if you have a headache or you just need help with sleeping, you're able to just like apply it to, like your temples or just rub it on you. Um, to have them in that space. So it's just as far as just like wellness comes, it's just the calmness that it brings and the energy. Like I'm very much so very aware of the energy that I have. And if my energy is not good, I'm not touching anything because I want to make sure that my energy is transferable to wherever it is that is going into this candle, and whomever is getting this candle, they're going to be able to be reciprocated not only due to the ingredients that are in there, but the energy that has been placed in while making.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know, when you were, so are you planning to complement your candles with the work that you're going to be doing with the counseling?
Yeah, yeah. So like doing things like workshops and like wellness workshops and um have it in that space. So yeah.
That's lovely. So let's talk about the candle making classes.
Okay.
Who are they for? What's the process like? Because I know we're speaking, I mean, of course, our listeners are from all over the world,
Hmm.
but we want to really know, who are they for? They're for couples, mother, daughter, girls, you name it, weddings, a wedding group. I mean, is it customized for that, for all of that?
They're for everybody. And
Nice.
it's why it's just like, what is your demographic? Like everyone, because everybody needs to calm down. Everybody needs to decompress. Everybody needs that. So, therefore, um, if you and your girlfriends and you want to have a girl night, a girl night, that's, for that. For wedding parties, for couples, like you can bring that in together, right? And it's all within the scent. That scent will bring you back to that moment of why you are creating,
Hmm.
you know?
I do. And I think when you said there is a certain scent when your house is clean,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, and I would love to, I'm going to also ask you this. We have these five senses, right? And so for some people, they're triggered by audio, some people are triggered, by sense. And I want to share something with you. And I was thinking as I was talking to you is that, there's certain people that you're around, they have a scent, right? Their house has a scent.
Mm-hmm.
Some is positive, some is negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you find that scents trigger behaviors?
Yeah. Scents go back into That goes back into your memory bank, and there's certain things that when you smell something, it can just hit something. It can hit a nerve. A chemical in your brain can go off. Like anything can, like, it can trigger it, and it puts you back into that space and that time.
Hmm. And is
And you're
that,
doing this unconsciously.
yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, is that unconscious? Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's unconscious, behavior. And you're just like, yo, I didn't know that I just got angry all of a sudden. I didn't recognize I got angry all of a sudden because, it's just something may have happened in your childhood or, anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think the work that you're doing um in this space, I don't think that we recognize that there is trigger in
Mhm.
that place of sense. You
Mhm.
know, when you're
Mhm.
sitting here, I was like, and the only reason why I thought about it is because I've been to a house
Mhm.
where the people in there, and I'm not, I don't want to say that they were toxic, but
Mhm.
it was a high energy scent.
Uh-huh.
Um, and when I feel it, I'm like, ooh, and I don't know where it come. I would love to dig, and so it was just weird. I was like, oh, it's just it's just a vibe in there, and I don't know. I couldn't articulate it, right? But it was a scent that, which is why I think it's about practicing your scent. So tell the people about Red Candle. How can they reach you? How can they purchase? So that we can make sure people know how to connect with you.
Red Elephant, I'm www.redelephantcandlecompany.com. So I have my e-commerce store. I'm also located on the south side of Chicago in the L1 incubator, which is 319 East Scarfield, right up under the Green Line. Um, and you can reach me via Instagram. I gotta do better with my posting. But my posting, like you can reach me Instagram is red.elephantcandleco. So yeah, and you can just shoot me an email or get in my DMs. So
Say, get in my DMs. I
get in
love
my
it. Get in my
DMs.
DMs and get your candles. Get your look. Get your
Right.
candle hookup. Get your wellness hookup.
Candle, right. Get your wellness hookup. Hit your girl up.
I love it. I love it, Jamica. So tell me this: what is one? Can you share one self care technique that you do that brings you joy?
Oh, I take a bath, and my baths are intentional. So these are every week. I do a self care bath. So these are herbal baths, and I have my candles lit, and I am literally with my Epsom salt, and I have my tea, and it's literally just me like releasing. If I need to cry, I am releasing, right? And that is just something that I have to have because if I don't do it, because it's centering and it grounds me for my week. And if I don't do yeah, it's like I'm a little off. So like, people like, oh, you in the tub? Like, no, of course, like nobody likes to sit in dirt if whatever preference is what. Take a shower, go get in the tub, whatever it is that you need to do. But I very much so always say, have you sat in some water? Because water brings you back, you
So
know?
tell me that. I don't mean to, but how do you get people to be still and I love taking baths. I haven't taken them in a while, but I
Mm-hmm.
do love them. Like I absolutely love them. Um, to your point, water is soothing for me. But
Mm-hmm.
for those that are busy, um, you know, what and I'm gonna because I like to plug you. What candles should they get to help them take that bath?
Okay, so if you want for that is moment. Um,
Moment, the candle
moment.
moment.
The candle moment
Okay.
is very centering. It's very much so relaxing.
Okay.
Um, and it helps like with the restlessness. So it's like you're literally calming yourself, like
Nice.
decompressing, and that's with the sandalwood and really that's in there. Like it really brings you to that space.
Nice. So you guys heard her self-care technique and she just gave us one for all of us that are busy and can't be still. But I do love baths. It is moment candle. To get that one to help you center in a bath. I think that's an incredible technique. So now we want to ask Jamica, because we ask all of our guests this question. Why do Black businesses matter?
Oh my God. Because who knows us better than us? How can we serve? We have to be able to serve each other. And we're in times now where gentrification is real but it goes back into like who knows us better than us? Who can serve us better than us? Who understands us better than us?
Yeah. And I think and who you're absolutely who knows us better than us. I mean, it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
It's such I was listening to an Instagram post and I was like, no, I and they were just going back and forth and was like, no, I know me better because I'm Black American. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me about me, but I know me because I live this.
Uh-huh.
So versus people telling us about this, but you're right from that standpoint. So tell us and then as we think about why do Black businesses matter, Jamaica, the next question we love to ask is what brings you joy?
Oh man, it's the small things. The simple things bring me joy. Good book, spending time with my baby when we haven't, she's 12, so it's like whenever a little cuddle session I can get in a little 5 minutes of, sitting down watching, just even sitting down, just watching TV with her. Um, good company, laughter. It's just small things, flowers, like those small things make the biggest impact. Yeah.
They really do. Um, and I just want everyone to know that in this series of wellness, in this season, what we want to be able to do is introduce our guests to things to be well and making sure that we have Black businesses that are actively aiding in wellness in all aspects of wellness, right? Beauty's one, self care is another one, style is another. I mean, there's so many facets of being well and showing up in that capacity. As we close, Jamica, I do want to ask you because I think you said something that I would love for you to share with our listeners is that I think you having a nonprofit now going into candle making and making candles and having a candle business for those that are multifaceted, have multiple business kind of looming in their brains, you know, what could be one best practice that they can do to help them kind of center what business, should be at the forefront?
You have to listen to yourself. That first instinct is what it is that you have to listen to because you're going to get it in so many different ways. We always do. We just ignore it because we want to do what it is that we want to do. But it's funny how, like, when God places things on you, He places God, she places things on you for a reason, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's you're going to see it over and over and over again, and especially when you have multiple businesses. And for me, I you you can't do everything. You can't do everything at one time. So it's best to really figure out within you what makes more sense. Because if it's something that if those other two businesses really mean something, they'll still be there. But you have to pay attention to this one child first, right? And then you'll be able to then give the love and care to the other businesses to then merge them together in some way. But I always say, listen to yourself and accept the no's.
Yeah. I think that's so powerful. It's really, Oprah says you can do it all, but just not all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's powerful because sometimes we feel like we're racing after the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I love what you said. I'm going to pick her back up, and it's okay to pick her back up, or not pick her up back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if that's the case, but never feel bad about that, right?
Right.
Because it was that time in that season. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want, as we wrap up in this wellness episode, I want to make sure that everybody knows redelephantcandlecompany.com. She's out of Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, which is on 55th Street for those of us that live in Chicago under the Garfield Green Stop. And
Mm-hmm.
so definitely can go in there, make your purchases. She also is doing candle making classes, so make sure you check her out. Her Instagram is red.elephantcandleco. That's red.elephantcandleco. And so I just want everyone to know that these are places where you can find wellness in your life. And I just want to thank you, Jamaica, for
Oh, thank
being a
you.
guest on Black Businesses Matter and really being able to be a wellness aid with your business. I think that's powerful. And I'm excited that you were able to get on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so pressed for gratitude with this. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I just want to say these are, I mean, if you guys been rocking with us, Season 5 of wellness is just going to make you feel so good inside. Like listening to Jamica was like, oh my gosh, I want a candle and I want to take a bath and I want to be done for the rest of the day. That's how I feel on this day that we're recording. So I don't know if you're feeling that way, but if you are, check out her, get that candle, take a candle making class, and just get in that calm place if that's where you need to be. But I find that as long as we live in these big cities, we all need a calm place.
Oh, yes, we do.
So I just want to say, I don't know about everybody else, but I don't care what's happening. We can all use a calm space. So thank you all for tuning in and listening to another episode of Black Businesses Matter, and we'll see you next week.
The Black Businesses Matter podcast is produced by the L3 Agency, a culturally sensitive influencer, marketing, and communications firm in Chicago, where relationships are our currency, passion is our profit maker, and people are our bottom line. Follow us on Instagram at Black Businesses Matter.